Great day, attractive thinker. Dr. Toni Hatton here, CEO and founder of the Attractive Thinker Guru, where we support new and aspiring entrepreneurs with mental strength, mental fortitude, mindset maintenance, tools that you can use while you're building your business and writing your book and exhaling all of those gifts into the world. I am delighted to be back with you for another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. Welcome my co-host Tichet Bradshaw, the visual encourager.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Mindset Monday where you can do things that you've never done, go where you've never gone. It is such a great day to be alive.
Yes, it is. It is a great day to be alive. An attractive thinker. I know y'all here, you hear us say that all of the time. I want you to think about that. Today is a new day. It's not an ordinary day. It's not another day. It's a new day, and it's a great day to be alive because as long as you're breathing, you're full of possibility. Anything can happen. And Tichet, you say this all of the time. Any moment of today can change your life for the better for the rest of your life. And you can say it better than I can. I'm just paraphrasing, but I love it when you say that. Today, attractive thinker, we're going to be talking about my whole life in one moment. And I want you to think about that. When was the last time your whole life flashed before you in one moment? And I say that because I want you to put your mind there so that you can understand the message that we're sharing with you today. My whole life in one moment. And today's topic was triggered as a result of a question, as a result of thinking about, like, how do you walk throughout life? How do you function in life when everything is coming at you all at once? Or what should I focus on, this way or that way, to the right or to the left? Or how do I know if I'm on the right path? What you do, attractive thinker, and I'm sure I don't have to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Have your attractive thinker notebook and pen handy because we're going to be dropping some gems today that you definitely want to capture. You don't want to let these gems hit the floor and then you move on to the next thing after this message. And what you hear really doesn't take root and it doesn't prosper in your life. You want it to grow. You want it to be fruitful, what you're hearing. So I want you to think about this for a moment. When was the last time that your whole life came before you, that you had an opportunity to sit down and think about your entire life, like the big picture, so to speak? Of course, it's impossible to think about everything all at once, but the big picture, because we're in the frame. And you hear people say, it's hard to see your picture if you're in the frame. It's hard to see you. It's hard to see your life. It's hard to see how you're moving about life. One of the things that comes before my mind often, Tichet, is we only get to see ourselves maybe once or twice throughout our 24-hour day. And that's in the morning when you're looking in the mirror, and at night maybe when you're brushing your teeth, or maybe at midday you're going to the bathroom and you wash your hands or whatever. Sometimes you glance in the mirror when you're washing your hands, and sometimes you're in such a hurry that you don't, and you miss the opportunity to see what other people see. We see other people all day long, and we only see ourselves maybe once or twice throughout the day in the mirror. So with that said, it's possible, and it also explains how we can focus on everybody else and not ourselves, how we can give to everyone else and not ourselves. It's almost like we're forgotten. It's almost like out of sight, out of mind, because we see everyone else. And it's so easy to tend to their needs and to think about or anticipate how you can bless them or be a blessing to them or be a help to them or fix this or do that. And it's easy to do that for them and leave ourselves out of the picture, because we're the ones walking throughout our lives. We don't get to see ourselves as often as we see others. So I want you to think about that moment, that moment where you had an opportunity to think about your life in a glance. I had a defining moment, and I'm sure you have too, whereas my life was reduced to the moment. Sometimes throughout life you struggle with what decision to make or what's the next step or what's now. I've accomplished this level of success, now what? And you're not sure. You feel this unbalanced feeling, like walking on a tightrope, trying to catch your balance. And you want to know what the next step is, or what's the answer, or where do I go from here? And so many things are coming at you at once. And you got those bright, shiny objects. Things look great. It looks like a great opportunity. It looks like I should go in this direction or that direction. It looks good, but is it good for us? And what do we use to gauge that response, that answer, that thing that makes us feel comfortable that this is the right path to take? One of the things that we do as attractive thinkers, we get crystal clear with this particular tool, reducing our life to the moment. Your entire life is in the current moment that you're living right now. Your entire life. It's not in the past because that's over, and it's not in the future because you're not there yet. Your entire life is in this moment. When I had my defining moment, it did it for me. The defining moment reduces your life to the moment for you. It's not something that you have to do. It does it for you. All of a sudden, your focus shifts, and the things that you were focusing on get shifted to the background of your life with, not as much importance. And the things that you were not focusing on get shifted to the forefront of your life. And it's like crystal clear. No more questions, no more pondering, no more wavering, no more second guessing. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly where to go. You know exactly who to be. You know exactly what the answer is because your focus has been shifted to the moment. Your entire life is now present in your face, in your experience, in one moment. So to share with our audience, what is coming up for you when we talk about my whole life in one moment?
You touched on so many different things. The statement that I always say is any moment of today can change your outcome for tomorrow. That means that you're trusting life on a moment to moment basis. So when you show up in this moment and you have that trust and believe that anything could happen, this moment can present the opportunity you needed to change the fears you have for tomorrow, to change your plans for tomorrow and end up giving you a bigger one, a higher one. So any moment of today can change your outcome tomorrow. You don't know who's waiting to bless you. You don't know who's waiting in the wings to give you a powerful word. All it takes is one moment. All it takes is one word that can change everything. And when I say all it takes is one word, because you said something about triggers and where your whole life flash in front of you. I love like reading books and listening to audios and things that gives me that one moment or that one puzzle piece that I needed that was missing that makes it all make sense. So any moment of today can be presented with that one puzzle piece that makes the whole thing make sense. You've been going through life, you have your ups and downs, your joys and your pains. You have so many things that you have experienced. You have some trials and some tribulations that you have conquered. And a lot of these things, a lot of the heartbreaks that you had in your life might have not have made sense at the moment. And if you are a person who's ever experienced that breaking, that heartache, that heartbreak, and you've had to live past that heartbreak, but never got closure or understanding. You've never got clarity concerning why that happened to you, why that happened, in your life. Well, first and foremost, we always talk about things happening for you, not to you, having that one understanding. Now, even though it happened for you, the clarity sometimes does not show up until later, or sometimes it will show up in that moment. But all it takes is one moment for that clarity to show up. So when you've had those heartbreaking moments and you're trying to gain peace concerning it, you can't wrap your mind around why it happened. Think about it this way. In this moment, one of us, Dr. Toni or I, can say one sentence that You can take that one sentence and comb it through your entire life and make it all make sense. And you go, oh, that's why, oh, because that's why I did, that's why that happened. And then that happened, and that made this happen. And then that was a trigger. And then that's why, oh, I get it. And then you end up so enlightened and encouraged. But this is where you stand in your own life, grateful and thankful for every tear you cried, every heartache you had to overcome, everything you've had to endure, all the joys, the pains, the lessons, and the blessings. You finally got the clarity, and you become grateful for your life, because in this moment, it presented the opportunity for you to see you as you are. It gave you the opportunity to see who you are, what you're made of, and whose you are. So in that one moment that it all makes sense, you realize that there's no pain you're going through that's in vain. Nobody wants to go through something for nothing. We all want to serve a purpose. My thing is, when we look at mothers, for instance, mothers tend to sacrifice everything they have and everything they are for their children. They will sacrifice their dreams, their goals, their plans, their wants, and their desires for the sake and the sanity of their children, so that their children does not have to walk through the same fire they had to walk through. Leaders, you see, they do the same thing. Leaders will go out there. Jesus was a sacrifice for us. What did he have to know or have clarity, being God? What did he, being the Lord, what kind of clarity did he have in his mind to make him take every beating, every insult thrown at him, everything that could have hurt him, for a people who at the moment was calling him, you know, thieves, and calling him out of his name, and not knowing, for a people who didn't know who he was in the moment. You sacrifice yourself, your time, and your energy every single day. Now, there's something you talked about, Dr. Toni, where you said we don't show up in our day, but morning in the mirror and at night in the mirror. Now, the thing about that is, when you become intentional, you start to show up more and more in your day. You start to intentionally make sure you see who you are and know who you are throughout the day. So when you're doing that, you watch us, you have the pleasure and the opportunity to watch yourself grow, and watch your situation, your circumstances, and your environment change right before your very eyes. But it takes one moment, one clarity, one knowledge, one word that can shift it all into the proper perspective, so that you can get the bigger picture, and then you can operate accordingly. You know, it's so amazing when we strategize our life and break it down to a moment by moment basis, because a lot of our pain, if you look, a lot of our pain is not in the moment. This moment right now, for instance, if you are sitting down watching us with a pen and paper, if you bring yourself to this moment, all there is a word coming forth in your ability to receive it, to take it in, to process it, to comb it through your entire life, and comb it through your dreams to see if it fits, if it's for you. All that is offered in this moment is power. But the pain that we go through in this moment is in the remembering all the pain of the past, everything we had to go through. You're remembering, depending on if you're remembering in the eyes of a victim or a victor, is depending on how you will see your past. Also, a lot of the pain comes in going too far into your future, having these stories, realizing that your now doesn't match your future, because you don't have the bigger picture on how you get from here to there. But if you look, you haven't figured out how you got from here, how you got from there to here, but you made it. You made it. So if you made it from there to here in a place of empowerment, encouragement, enlightenment, growth, in a place of change, want, desire, in a place of uplifting, And you know, if you made it from there to that break to here where you are living now beyond the break, what do you think is going to happen to shift you from here to something unseen, to something you can't even fathom? There's a blessing waiting for you on the other side. There's a light always at the end of the tunnel. The thing is we can see the light, but we don't know what the source, or we know what the source is of that light is. But when we only see the light, we don't see the whole room for where the light comes, and we don't see the whole blessing of the light. So the moment by moment strategy is taking the steps right now in this moment that this moment presents. You're presented with the moment, right? And in this moment is a decision. And in this decision, you have to listen to your instincts, you know, you listen to your spirit. Where is your spirit telling you to leave or to go or to walk? Where is your spirit leading you? And do you trust your spirit? Because sometimes we make decisions being hasty and wanting to go ahead of the spirit, wanting to be so fast to get whatever we trying to get to go where we want to go, and you end up speeding. And when you end up speeding, you don't get the whole clarity, the whole picture. You end up crashing because you're not even focused on where you're so focused on where you're going that you can't see where you are. And where you are in this moment is not, you're not paying attention, you're not being aware. So you end up crashing because where you're going is not where you are. But if you look, where you are is not where you've been. But if you get the bigger picture, you can see that it all lives in this moment. This moment matters. This moment is what's shaping your next moment. Your ability to soften your heart, your ability to receive, your ability to know and understand and gain clarity is in this moment, but you have to accept that. So that's what I think. Powerful information that you gave in the beginning, Dr. Toni.
Absolutely. That was so phenomenal. So many things came to my mind while you were talking. Attractive thinkers living life beyond the break, beyond a disappointment, beyond a frustration, beyond a heartbreak, or beyond just something that makes you feel less than your joyful self. Makes you feel less than excited, anything that makes your energy drop or makes your view of yourself distorted or makes you feel a little off balance or not in tune with who you really are. You said something, Tichet, about the break or about the moment. It gives you an opportunity to see you for who you are. And when you said that, see you for who you are, I remember, you remember this activity we did at one of our live events, the From Sight to Vision Master Your Mind experience, where we had the attractive things. It just so happened that the room we were in was surrounded by mirrors. And we had the attractive thinkers go and stand near the mirror and just look at themselves at the moment. And I'm not sure if they were saying affirmation, but I knew one of the instructions was to look at yourself in the mirror. And a lot of attractive thinkers struggled with that. And when you said, see you as you are, this defining moment or reducing your life to the moment gives you an opportunity to see you for who you are, I was reminded of how difficult. And I wanted to ask the question, why is it so difficult for us to look at ourselves in the mirror? You see people all throughout the day, they're looking at other people, they're glancing at other people, they're staring at other people. If someone attractive walks past, they get your attention. Sometimes you do a double take. You know, we don't have a problem. You know, you see something that looks strange, you look, you stare, you get closer, you glance, you inquire, you don't take your eyes off of it. You know, we see a lot of things in the course of the day, but we struggle when it comes down to looking at ourselves in that mirror. So what is that? I want you to think about that, attractive thinker. You're like, you know, Dr. Toni, you're right. You know, I see myself in the mirror. I get up in the morning, I brush my teeth, I comb my hair, I get dressed, I clean my face or whatever. I don't have a problem with that. But to actually have an attractive thinker exercise or assignment that says, just stand there and look. Just stand there in the mirror and look, not just looking at yourself, look into your eyes. Look into your eyes. I said this to an attractive thinker one time when we were in a private session, and I said, look into your eyes and see your endlessness. Sometimes that deep exercise, that deep experience makes you turn away real quick, because it's too much to handle. It's too much to handle that you are incredible. It's too much to handle that you are endless. It's too much to handle to think or to know or to believe that God lives inside of you. When you look in the mirror, you look into your own eyes, you see that there's a being in there. You see that you're more than just flesh and bones. You see that there's something in you, something about you that you haven't even tapped into yet, but it's there, it's brewing, it's hovering, there's a presence there. And that can be frightening to so many people. But when you reduce your life to the moment, your whole life is in that moment. Your whole life is in that experience. When you take the time, you set aside the time, we all have been given 24 hours. It's a gift of time. How we use that 24 hours is totally up to us. So taking a portion of that time just to spend that time with yourself, to get to know yourself, to get to know who you are. Like you said, Tichet, this defining moment is an opportunity for us to see ourselves as we are. And it can be frightening, but I guarantee you, attractive thinker, if you develop the mental courage enough to confront yourself, to confront your awesomeness, your power, your beauty, your glory, your greatness, I promise you, you'll find something that you can anchor your soul into for the rest of your life. You'll find something, you'll discover more about yourself than you've ever known before. You'll discover the gems and the beauty and the glory about you. You'll discover your power and your super strength. You'll discover your provision and your safety. You'll discover answers to questions that you've had for years, because you already are all that you will ever need to be. And when you reduce your life into the moment, these are the wonderful things that you discover about your life. When you think of reducing your life to the moment, I want you to understand that the actions that we take and the decisions that we make in this moment is what are creating the future life that we're to live. We are creating the life that we're going to live right now in this moment. So that's how important a moment is. We have defining moments, we have destiny moments, we have moments in our life that changed our lives forever, that shifted our lives for the better. You can remember those exciting moments that you had experienced in your life that brought you so much joy, that changed the game. If someone was to walk upon you, attractive thinker, and ask you, what moment in your life changed the game for you? What moment in your life launched you into your greatness? What moment in your life brought forth a solution that you had a question about for years? You can recall that moment. And when you recall that moment, you're not just recalling that moment to memory, you're recalling the emotions that you felt in that moment. You know exactly what the weather was. You know who was around you in that moment. You know what color or what clothing items you had on. You know what you were eating or what you were drinking in that moment. You know if you had a hat on or a coat, you know what the weather was. That moment is full of an entire life. That moment, that one moment, you can capture the essence of an entire life. A defining moment changes your life forever. So your entire life was captured in that moment. It changed the course of your life. It put you on a different path. So when we talk about my whole life in one moment, if you take the time, this is what we're trying to say to you today. If you take the time to sit in this moment and assess it, am I going in the right path? What am I feeling about this moment that I'm in? Do I feel joy? Do I feel sadness? Do I feel excitement? Do I have anticipation? Do I feel aligned and balanced? Do I feel like I'm on the right path? Assess where you are in this moment, because this moment determines the rest of your life. This moment is creating the rest of your life. It's creating the rest of your day. What you do, how you deal with this current moment is going to it's going to manifest, it's going to create, it's going to determine what you experience in the rest of your day. So that's how important it is to capture the moment. When we go about our day and we're out with our family and friends, we have cameras and we snap, we take pictures. And in that one picture, we've captured an entire moment. But in that moment, we've captured an entire life, an entire experience. Whereas when you look back at that picture, you can remember and recall everything. How many times have you scrolled through your phone? Whereas you've kept, that's what pictures are, moments. I've captured these moments. How many times have you scrolled through your phone and you look at moments that you've captured in your life? And you know exactly what the weather was. They bring you joy. It puts a smile on your face. And then there's some moments that you capture on your phone, and it's very rare because we don't capture these kinds of moments that make you sad or make you question who you are, or those moments that are make you feel that confused feeling. We don't have those kinds of pictures in our phone. We capture joyful moments. So what if in this moment right here, you begin to assess and create and decide that I want to create more joyful moments? What if you didn't focus on the past moments? They're gone. What if you didn't focus on the future moments because they haven't even been created yet? What if you really believed that in this moment I get to create my future moments? If you really believe that, what moment would you create right now that would resonate or reflect or manifest in your future? See, when you think about the future that you want to create, it's impossible to not consider the moment that you're in. It's impossible to, because see, that's where the confusion comes in at. We don't have a connection. We don't make the connection where our future is. We look at our future or view it as so far off. We're not making the connection that I'm creating my future right now in this very moment, that I am my future, that me and my future are one. If we make that connection, see, when we walk around with that disconnect, we're living these moments haphazardly, not really focusing on them or being strategic about them. We let people and places and things in and out of our experience that raise our vibration and lower our vibration and have us here, there, and everywhere, not understanding that they're affecting my future. In this moment, they are affecting my future. We let negative thoughts and self-debilitating thoughts and self-limiting thoughts in and out of our experience all day long, not understanding the impact that they're having on my future. Because if they're in my moment, they're in my future. If they're in my current moment, they're in my future that I desire to create for myself. And then I go about life wondering, why isn't my future showing up? Guess what? It is. It is. And if your future doesn't look like what you want it to, how are you feeling in the moment that you created it? That's something to think about. If my future does not look like what I want it to, how was I feeling in the moment that I created it? So it compels us to value each moment more highly than we had been valuing each moment. Instead of taking these moments for granted and say, I can't wait to this time of the day, or I can't wait till 6 o'clock. Well, what about the moment that you're in right now? This is the only real part of our lives, is the current moment that we're in right now. That's the only real thing about me, is what I'm currently doing right now. Back to you, Tichet.
That is so true. What's going on right now really is all we have. The past is passed away. The past is gone. The future has not yet come. All we have right now is this present moment.
Yeah.
And you said something about, you said, I am my future. My future and I are one. That is such a powerful statement, because when you realize your future and you are one, you'll be more deliberate in what you do in this moment. You'll be more intentional in what you do in this moment. There's so much power that goes into being aware understanding who you are every moment that you can. Can we understand everything at all the moments? May not, but we can try to understand every moment that we can. We can try to gain control and clarity of every moment that we can. There's some stuff that comes up in our day that we might not be aware of. You don't let stuff just keep hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting without stopping and saying, wait a minute, what's going on here? See, this is how we end up having that if it rains, it pours moment, because when it first started raining, you didn't assess the moment and get out your tools to stop yourself from getting drenched and overwhelmed by everything that's going on in the world. A lot of people who are compassionate, full of love, empathetic, a lot of those people, when they see everything that's going on, they seem to take it and put it all on them. So you can see all this stuff going on over the world, the protests, the president, the sea virus, all the different things. You can see all those things going on in the world, and you will put it on yourself because you don't understand what's in this moment, and you can become severely overwhelmed. But here's the thing, when you become overwhelmed, that introduces a stress. And when you introduce that stress, you are suppressing your immune system. And when you are suppressing your immune system, you're opening yourself up to illnesses and viruses that come in. So what that says to me is, in this moment, my health is dependent on me understanding what this moment is. My health is dependent on me, what's going on, me getting that clarity of what really is going on. Sometimes we carry stuff that's not even ours. You can get so overwhelmed by what's going on over there in Tanya's house and what's going over there in Peter's house, because they both told you these stories. And if you're an empath, or if you are a person that has compassion, or a person that's loving, and you tend to take on the cares of the world, when these people come and tell you all this stuff, it's like it's happening to you. I'm the type of person that if I see somebody win, or I see somebody get something amazing, to me, it's like I'm winning. This is why I want to see people thrive. I want to see people healthy. I want world peace, because it feels like I get world peace when I see world peace. But here's the reality of what's going on, is there's a lot of different areas and stuff going on right now as we speak. We can't take it all into ourselves, especially if you're already weighed down. When you are weighed down, that is not the time to carry other people's stuff. That is the time to sit with yourself, assess what's yours and what's theirs, assess what's future, what's past, and what's present. Get clarity of what this moment actually brings, just so you can breathe. So there's so much power in understanding the moments, and the moments that create that is created. Dr. Toni, you talked about capturing the moment in the picture. That's what artists does. That's what photographers do. We capture the moment. We might look at a raindrop, and some of us might have missed the moment of that raindrop. So we might go it up close so you can really see what that raindrop consists of, what that snowflake consists of, all the shape and the beauty of one snowflake. So when we look at that one snowflake, we look at how the world might be closed down because of 8 to 10 inches of snow, but we forget to look at the beauty of that one snowflake, that each snowflake offers a different shape, a different size than each other. We're all like that snowflake. We're all uniquely different. We're all different shapes, different sizes, different colors, but we all offer something as a whole. And understanding your moment, and that moment that you talked about with the mirrors, with the attractive thinkers that you did, I remember that day. I remember looking in those mirrors, and I remember one attractive thinker saying, I've never looked at myself like that, because there's a difference between looking at yourself when you're putting on makeup, when you're putting on clothes, when you're doing your hair, when you're checking to see if something bit you. There's something that's different when you're looking that way. But when you intentionally take a good look at yourself, you're not just looking surface. Number one, you're looking for something. You're looking for clarity about yourself. You're looking for power. You're looking for what does it take to make you? What do you consist of? You're looking at yourself, both past, present, and future. And you're right, Dr. Toni, that is a lot that one can handle, because sometimes you get to see the power that's in you, and that's a lot to handle at that moment, because especially if you're a person that usually reduce yourself down to size, like you reduce yourself to miniature, to mediocre, you reduce yourself to fitting into other people's agenda and other people's opinion of what they think you should be, knowing that there's a greater calling on your life, knowing that there's bigger for you. You reduce yourself down. So then when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're forced to be faced with all that you are in that given moment. So when we capture those moments, say in photography, you're capturing the mood, the spirit. You're capturing what's going on. You're capturing the colors, the backgrounds, all that it takes to make up that one moment. That's why so much power in photography. There's so much power in art, because we have learned how to capture that moment. There's this one thing that I did with my daughter, and I did this intentionally. Dr. Toni, I remember when we did an event, you said, and I said this in a previous episode, you always say, I am creating things that speak when I no longer can. Yeah. And I took that, and that was so powerful to me. And I was like, wow, I never really thought about what happens when I leave this earth. I never thought about the mark that I made on this earth. And I was so young, I didn't know. I was just walking through life, mindlessly doing things, mindlessly eating. I was walking through life without understanding that I was supposed to actually use my mind. You hear people say think, but do we really know what that really means? Think about what? So when you said that, I started thinking, okay, if I was to leave this earth today, what would my daughter have to remind her of me? And how do I give her a hug when I'm gone? So from that moment, I started to be intentional when it came to music. So I would play a song, and every time this song plays, even if it's intentional or not intentional, where we just, heard it on the radio, where it just popped up, or I would play it. And every time that song comes on, no matter what I'm doing, I will stop and give her a moment, because I wanted her to, every time, if I'm not here and she hears that song, I want her to feel my embrace. I want her to hear my words. I want her to even smell my perfume. So I would create these moments for her. And she didn't know I was doing these things. I knew, because I said, if I was to leave this earth, I want you to be able to find me. I want you to be able to feel as if I'm hugging you and dancing with you when you create this moment. And one of the things that I remember is there are certain songs that I can hear that makes me feel like I'm on my mother's hip. If you play that song today, I will cry, because I could feel myself on my mother's hip, her singing that song and swaying with me. I did that same thing. These are the type of generational stuff you pass down. Generational memories and blessings, generational understanding and clarity. We always hear generational curses, and we got to break generational curses. But let's introduce generational blessings and understanding and clarity and power. Let's introduce the moments that we have overcome and conquered. Let's introduce that to our bloodline, so that we don't have to keep going in the same direction, recreating the same power, the same problems, but we are intentionally recreating power and letting our bloodline add on top of that. So there's so much power going on into this moment. It helps you with your health. It helps you in your mental capabilities. It helps you when you're no longer here. It helps the people around you, because if you are empowered by this moment, you are more effective to them than you could ever be if you're weighed down by everything else. So in this moment, there's nothing really weighing you down. It's your thoughts that's weighing you down. How you perceive a thing is how you receive a thing. So it's the way that you're thinking about what's going on that's weighing you down. It's not having the clarity to understand truly what's really going on that's weighing you down. It's not having that puzzle piece that's weighing you down, because right now you are free, free to move, free to talk, free to be, free to go. And it is your decision on what you do. Dr. Toni, you said earlier today, you said we are in charge of how we spend every moment. I say the same thing. We are in charge of how we spend our energy, how we spend our time, how we spend our money, and now how we spend our moment. It is up to us how we spend it. And I say to spend it intentional so that you can empower and allow yourself to leave a mark that's great in this earth. Your name is great in this moment. If you're listening to this message, it's not by coincidence. It's not by happenstance that you click play on this video. We're talking to you intentionally, putting in your mind that this moment you are great. This moment your name is made great. This moment offers you so much power and peace. It is up to you to accept it and receive it, but you gotta be open to understanding what this moment presents. It presents everything you want and desire.
You have to be open to understanding what this moment means. Tichet, you said so many things that resonated with me, and you dropped so many gems. Attractive thinkers, if this message is resonating with you, I want you to click the like button. That's number one. And then I want you to click the subscribe button. That's number two. And then I want you to share this message with your circle of influence. That's number three, because this message is a message that will resonate throughout time. This message is a message that will resonate with, if it's resonating with you, don't you know it'll resonate with someone else? People are looking for answers. Where do you go and hear this kind of truth? Where do you go and get this depth of information, this depth of insight? You hear topics, you go to conferences, you get buy packages and programs and CDs, but who's there to give you the practical application of what you're experiencing or what you're trying to implement in your life? Who's there to help you assess that one moment, that current moment, that defining moment, that destiny moment? Click the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the share button and share it in your social media pages, in your email, in your text messages, so that other people can get what you're getting right now, because it's needed. You know, if you're like us, as a fellow attractive thinker, you don't live on the surface, you live in the deep. And that's what's resonating with you right now. You're like, probably, who are these women, Dr. Toni and Tichet Bradshaw? Who are these women? The visual encourager, the attractive thinker. You may not have ever heard of us before, but something inside of you is very familiar with this, what we're sharing with you right now. Something inside of you, it's comfortable. Something inside of you is being fed. Something inside of you is resonating as if you knew us. You're like, oh my God, I feel the same way. Or, oh my God, I just said that the other day. Or I just heard that the other day. Or someone just said that to me the other day. And now I find Dr. Toni Hatton and Tichet Bradshaw, the attractive thinker and the visual encourager. So click the like button, click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and click that share button, because you're passing it forward. You're giving other people that are deep like you an opportunity to get the solutions that they're looking for in their life as well. Tichet, you said so many incredible things that really struck a chord with me, and I'd like to highlight them. You said something to the fact of we're forced to face all that we are. And when you said that, all that we are,
Yes.
because a lot of times we want to focus on the good that we are. But do you know, attractive thinker, that in order for you to be who you are, you have to embrace the good, the bad, and the ugly about yourself? And you have to be okay with it. It doesn't mean we don't work on all areas of ourselves. I work on all areas of myself every single day. It does not mean that. It means that you don't put more emphasis on the bad and the ugly than you do the good. What if you shifted? What if you flipped your method of operating, your method of, or what if you shifted how you view yourself? Or what if you shifted that inner conversation and you focus more, you highlighted more the good about yourself than you did the bad and the ugly? Remember, we talked about my whole life in one moment. Those defining moments and destiny moments, they shift your focus. That's the first thing. I want you to hear this. That is the first thing that happens during a defining moment. A shift takes place. What used to be important is no longer important. You don't even answer your phone when you're in a defining moment. What's a defining moment? A car crash, a diagnosis, somebody got lost, or somebody got kidnapped, or somebody fell, or somebody got rushed to the hospital, a heart attack, a stroke. Those are defining moments, or getting set out, or getting something repossessed, or whatever that might be. Those are defining moments in our lives, or winning the lottery. That's a defining moment. All defining moments don't have to be something that brings you pain. It could be something that brings you joy. But okay, let's take winning the lottery for an example, or inheriting a lump sum of money, or being given a house, or winning a car, whatever that might be. That's a defining moment. You really think you're going to answer your cell phone with somebody standing in front of you with $1 million check? You really think you're going to be scrolling through Facebook? You were scrolling all day long, and then all of a sudden you won something. You really think that the things that you were focusing on, the things that were a priority, you had deemed a priority in your life, you really think they're important now? They're not. They get shifted to the background of your life. And now the only, in the forefront of your life, this is really crystal clear. Your focus is crystal clear. You're really sharp, and you know exactly what next step to take. I'm going to follow these steps so I can receive this gift that's being given to me. Or I'm going to walk through this process so I can get the keys to this new house. Or I'm going to move. We're packing up and we're moving because I've been offered an opportunity to play the star in this movie. Whatever it might be, when that defining moment happens and that destiny moment, the focus gets shifted, clarity comes into space, and the answers we've been looking for, we now have solutions to. Because a defining moment and a destiny moment, the first thing it does is shift your focus. So a lot of times we say, oh my God, like I wish that never happened. I wish this, if it had to happen, I wish it had happened this way and that way. Could it be that we asked for it? Why? How do we ask for a defining moment or a destiny moment? When we ask for clarity, oh, I just want clarity. Oh, I wish I knew what to do. Oh, I wish I knew what my next steps were. Oh, I wish I knew if I was on the right path. Oh, I wish. You're really asking for it, because what do defining moments do? They give you clarity. They shift your focus. So a lot of time, and I know you may have heard it before, with naturopaths or empaths or seers or prophets or coaches, people that live from the deep. I know you may have heard them say a lot of the situations that we experience in our life, we created them. That's just something to ponder. It's just something to ponder. And it's a tough pill to swallow, because I have experiences in my life, whereas I want to say, no, 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 no. I would never have created anything like that. But did I? Did I create it with my words? Did I create it with my, where I was focusing on? Did I create it with my prayer? We pray for one thing and the answer comes another way. I want you to think about that. My whole life in one moment. So this right here should be an empowering message to you, because you may be thinking that everything outside of you, your life is dependent upon everything outside of you, or the answer or the next move or your solution is dependent upon everything outside of you. No, bring that power back in. I'm giving you your power back. Pull yourself back together, because everything that you need is in this moment. It's in this moment right here. And all it calls for is an assessment. Sit down quietly, get your attractive thinker notebook and pen, and listen. Center yourself. Come back to your center, because you are all that you will ever need to be. It's already all inside of you. And in order for you to access that, you have to first believe that. All of you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Do you know it took the good, the bad, and the ugly to make you who you are today. You couldn't have just experienced all good because it took the bad and the ugly because it all works together. The good needed the bad needed the ugly needed the good because you can't be you without all three, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what does that say? When I look into the mirror in my defining moment, in my destiny moment, in my one moment in time, when I look into the mirror, I accept all of who I am. I accept it. I embrace it. And I will continue as long as I live this life. I will continue to tweak. I will continue to edit. I will continue to revise. I will continue to develop and work on myself and nurture myself and love myself through this process because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am fantastic and amazing. And there is no one else on this planet like me. I am one of a kind and there'll never be another. Back to you, Tichet.
There will never be another. There was none before you. There's none after you.
There will
It
never
is
be
you. You know what's so true that you said about did we ask for it? And these were the defining moments. I remember I used to ask for, I want a lump sum. Give me a lump sum. I need a lump sum because I need a new house. You know, I want a lump sum to get a new house. And not being clear on how I want it. Again, this is where we talk about being intentional. Be intentional with your prayers and your requests as well. Your ideas, your structure, your plan, be intentional with those as well. Be specific is basically what I'm saying. Because so I was remembering, I remember that I was asking for that lump sum and I wanted that new house and I did not label how I wanted it. And then I went to go to church and then boom, straight to a car accident. T-boned somebody on the way to church. And it's like, okay, how did I create that? But here's the thing. I wasn't severely hurt. Me or my family was severely hurt in that accident. We were not, right? And out of it came my lump sum, and out of that lump sum came my house. So you see how she was saying that sometimes what you say you are also attracting. So that lets me know that every moment we are attracting, whether you like it or not, every moment you are attracting. The moment I asked myself, or I asked, I want this, or you say, I need more strength. Well, you're being put in more situations that requires your strength or expose your strength. We have to be more specific. We have to be more intentional with our moments. We can't just sit there and say, you know what, I just want a ton of money. Be specific. You want it. So now I'll say, I want an abundance without somebody getting hurt. You know, I'm strategic and specific. I want more strength without having to be broken down. You know, so in other words, how do I strengthen my mental muscles? What do I need to read or listen to strengthen my mental muscles? We talked about in a previous episode how clarity can help you gain mental muscle, because when you get that clarity, it helps you become stronger. It's like tools to help you become stronger. You're lifting in your mind as far as getting that clarity. You're constantly getting that clarity and pulling it in your mind, and you're getting that mental muscle. You're getting stronger and stronger. And the stronger you get, the more power you can put out. But here's the thing. Some of you who might think to yourself, well, I'm not strong. I don't feel empowered. I'm not weak. In that moment, the moment that you step out, despite you not feeling powerful, that power will be exposed to you. That strength will be exposed to you. We look at different movies all the time. We look at Chadwick Boseman. None of us knew what he was going through. None of us knew what type of pain he was enduring as he was as he was helping other people to get through theirs and to create a legacy for himself. None of us knew what he was enduring, but I wonder if he knew that how much power he had, that he just trusted and said, I'm going to do this anyway, because this pain is not about my power. The clarity and the understanding of knowing who I am is what infuses that power, and that power will help me suppress the pain. So it is so amazing of what the human mind and the human body can do. We were strategically made. And so when we feel that we are not worthy enough to receive, sometimes could be the best time for you to receive. You just got to be open for reception. The moment we feel like we're not worthy to go out here and talk to people because we're so caught up in trying to paint a perfect picture and be this perfect person, well, if he put it in you, it's for you. So you have the ability to use it. And that is a privilege in itself. He never required us to be perfect. He is the perfection in our life. So when he puts something in you, if you look at majority of the stories throughout the Bible, majority of the leadership stories, a lot of their stories did not require them to be perfect. A lot of the stories we admire so much, a lot of the greats, the people who did wonders in this earth, the people who have massive legacy, who are leaving behind great marks, great footprints in this earth, a lot of them don't have perfect stories. A lot of them, in the moment where they were creating the one thing that made them to be exposed, or that allowed them to allow the world to see what they're known for, what their legacy is, allow the world to see it. In that moment, I don't know if they knew that that's what they were creating in that moment. They didn't know that this was going to have this much power. If you did that song and you were in there and you were in the booth and you were singing that song, did all the people who went number one know this was it while they were in the booth? Or did they hear the playback of their song and said, man, that got me, and had a hope and put it out there for the world to see? I remember there's some artists who went number one who said that was not the song I thought was going to go number one. That was not the one I thought was going to go number one. I thought it was this one, but everybody loves that one. And that one was, and they say that one was birthed out of pain. I was just telling my producers what I went through, and he helped me put it in a song. It was therapy for me. So I wasn't even thinking about it being a legacy. It was therapy for me. So what was in them came out and blessed the world. So what's in you, despite you not being perfect, came out and blessed the world. We got to get out of that having to be perfect in order to be blessed mentality. You do not have to be perfect in order to be blessed. You have to be willing to receive, willing to grow, willing to change, willing to shift. You have to be willing. It's not enough to want anymore. We said a long time ago, we're shifting from I want to I will. We're shifting from I can't to I will. It is I will. This is the season of I will. I will master this. I will overcome this moment. I will make it through this. I will win. I will make a legacy. I will create an abundance for my family. I will allow my bloodline to be delivered from whatever I had to go through. I will be a pathfinder, trailblazer. I will be a person that will expose the clarity that's needed for your breakthrough. I will. That's what we're going in. So we're not just wanting anymore. We're not just blaming ourselves. We're not playing victim anymore. We understand that we are victors. We understand that regardless of what's going on in this world, we were designed to win. We know that there's a process to life. We know that there's a cycle to life. So why are we so surprised when the cycle of life happens and discount ourselves because of that cycle, when that cycle created your defining moment? That situation, that circumstance woke you up. There's some situations that made you angry enough to stop playing around. There's some situation that broke your heart wide open. And when it broke it wide open, your power was sitting in there like a piggy bank. You cracked that piggy bank open and all that's in it just flowed out. And you're like, wow, I didn't even realize all this stuff was being stored up for me. I didn't realize all this stuff was there for me. So when you experience a break, Beyond the break is taking the power that was locked up inside before that break, but it was always in there. This is not new. It was always in there. And the truth of the matter is you're powerful. You don't have to be perfect. You're powerful despite not being perfect. Be encouraged, be uplifted, be enlightened, be intentional, and enjoy the moment that's given to you right now, because there's so much peace, so much love, so much joy right here in this moment. Dr. Toni, you said something too that I wanted to clarify. Well, I didn't, you actually gave the clarity to it. It was, how do you get to the point where you bring yourself to the moment? And so that you just got finished saying, and I don't want any attractive thinker to miss that. You said, take a moment and assess, get centered, take a moment. So to some people that might be meditation, to some people that might be painting, to some people, there's some things that we do that's a meditation in itself. There's some people who might play the flute. That's a meditation in itself, because you're bringing yourself to the moment. You're allowing your mind to rest for a second. You are getting clarity of who you are while doing something you love. Breathing, taking time to breathe so that you can become front and center with the moment that's presented to you, and you see nobody's attacking you in this moment. Because if you got time to sit here and watch this entire video, you can't be under attack right now. There can't be anybody knocking you over the head right now because you just got through this entire video. If you got into this entire video, you're not being, dragged out. There's nothing heavy sitting on your shoulders. You're thinking that is causing that. You say, I got monkeys on my back. I got all these issues going on. I got so much stuff that I'm dealing with all at one time. In this moment, it's just this. In this moment, you're just listening to us. In this moment, you're just getting the clarity. Focus on this moment right now to give yourself the mental break. Because remember, I said some of us, not all of us, but some of us are not mentally ill. We're mentally tired and need to give ourselves a mental break. And that's by coming to this moment. Back to you, Dr. Toni.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Attractive thinkers, I trust that you have captured these gems that we have dropped along the way, and that you understand clearly that your whole life is in the moment today, this moment today. Like Tichet said, we have to get out of that mentality that I have to be perfect for everything to work out right. Or one of the things that came to my mind when you were talking to Shed, I have to get out of that beat myself up mentality. Stop beating yourself up, attractive thinker, because when you do that, you're negating the good. You have the bad and the ugly in the forefront, and you have the bad, the good in the background, and you're not balanced. You got to balance it all out. We are good, we are bad, we are ugly, we are great, we are fantastic and amazing. We're fearful, we're doubtful, we have unbelief going on, and at the same time we have belief going on, and we're strong and we're amazing. We are bad to the bone. We're all of that and the above. And we're still good, because I posted this on my Facebook page a while ago, months ago. Greatness does not feel so great, but it doesn't mean you're not great. I want you to understand it. Do you know the things that you go through in life can never erase who you are, which is great? It can never erase your power. You're still powerful. You're still fantastic and amazing. Like Tichet, you mentioned about walking in the rain. When we're walking, walking down the street or whatever, and we may have our umbrella, it's a tool because we anticipate the rain. We thought it was going to rain. We listened to the weather, whatever, we thought it was going to rain. But do you know that even though the rain begins and you put your tool up, which is your umbrella, do you know it doesn't change who you are? It didn't change how beautiful you looked. It didn't change the fact that you were great. It didn't change the fact that you were joyful or happy. You just were prepared for the rain. And that's what I want you to think about as we close this episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. As long as you have your attractive thinker tools, you can walk in the rain. As long as you have your attractive thinker tools, you'll never stop being great. Even if your greatness is wet, even if your greatness is cold, even if your greatness is broken, even if your greatness is hurt and wounded, you're still great. So remembering who you are, staying in the moment. Don't go back. Those moments are gone. You can't go forward because you haven't created those moments yet. Stay in the moment because your whole life, my whole life, in this one moment. Attractive Thinker, again, click the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share this message with your circle of influence. I want you to visit our website, theattractivethinker.guru. You may be open for a consultation. You may have listened to this message and say, you know what, I'm tired of struggling alone. You know what, I got a lot of clarity out of this message that I heard with Tichet Bradshaw and Dr. Toni Hatton. I want to know more. I want to get closer. I want you to book a free complimentary consultation, okay? An opportunity for you to get closer, to know more about what it is that we offer. I support new and aspiring entrepreneurs. I support dreamers, visionaries, people who want to create, live, and leave a legacy that speaks, like Tichet said, when we no longer can. And you have to be intentional with the life that you live. You have to be intentional with your moments in order to exist in two worlds when you no longer exist in this one. So visit our website, theattractivethinker.guru, and scroll down to the bottom and click the link there to book a free consultation. Tichet, please tell our audience how they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. You can find me on my website at www.visualencouragement.com. We provide mental support for people dealing with depression who desires to lift the heaviness so that they can create a new vision for themselves. Go to my contact us page, put in your information. Let me know how I can encourage you, enlighten you, and uplift you so that you can have such a fulfilling life. Again, that is www.visualencouragement.com. I'll see you soon.
I like what you said, creating a new vision for yourself. I like that, Tichet, because when we look in that mirror, and we talked about that, if you're struggling with what you see, Tichet can help you create a new vision for yourself. And when you create that new vision, you'll love looking in that mirror. But I want you to start right now today. Get a mirror, get your face in a mirror, spend some time with yourself in that mirror, and understand and accept the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it all works together for good. It all makes you who you are, and you are fantastic and amazing just the way you are. I want you to remember something. Our life's work, that's always to make your life better. It is not what you're going through, it's how you're doing it. Think attractively, and we'll see you soon.